Over recent years, it's become an absolute norm to see some of the best, in fact, all of the best cricketers in the world take part in the Indian Premier League. And in fact, that 2-month window when the IPL is held sees little to no international cricket take place, because obviously the best stars from all countries are taking part in the league. However, there's been one man who's been conspicuous with his absence ever since 2015, and in fact, in recent times, it has become almost a thing that speculation ensures over his participation before he inevitably pulls out. That man is Mitchell Starc. Mitchell Starc last played in the IPL in 2015. He was last part of the auction in 2018. Since then, Starc has not been anywhere close to playing the IPL, and in fact has become something of a cult hero among certain cricket fans for choosing to prioritize being available and fit for Australia at all times rather than chase the mega bucks that an IPL contract would likely guarantee offer someone of his ability. However, that 8-year time period with Starc not playing in the IPL is set to come to an end, because Starc himself has confirmed that come 2024, he will in fact be putting his name up for the IPL auction. This is exactly what he had said during a recent podcast interview. He said, look, it's been 8 years. I'm definitely going back in next year to the IPL auction pool. Among other things, it's a great lead up to the T20 World Cup. And he makes a good point there, because you'd remember that next year the T20 World Cup will not be held later in the year like it was in 2022. 22, you'd remember it was held in the October-November time period, but next year it's going to be held in the West Indies and USA, and it's going to be held in June. So basically what the calendar for next year or for after this World Cup is going to look like is that you're going to see some bilaterals for a few months, then the IPL, and straight after that you're going to have the T20 World Cup. So he's right in the sense that playing probably one of the best T20 leagues in the world would be very, very good preparation going into the T20 World Cup. But there is one other very important factor that played a part in his decision to make that comeback to the IPL, and that is the fact that Australia's schedule for next year isn't anywhere as grueling as it has been in recent times. He said that it's been somewhat of a quiet winter next year in comparison to this winter. So I think it's a perfect opportunity to put my name in for the IPL. So you remember that last year, they had plenty of series to look forward to when you're talking about Australia, the Test team. They of course had the Border Gavaskar Trophy taking place in India. Right after that, there was of course the IPL where a lot of players were playing. Thereafter, the World Test Championship final, and right after the World Test Championship final, there was a 5-test Ashes series, and of course now they are in the build-up for the ODI World Cup, of which Starc, by the way, right now is an absentee because he's actually nursing an injury, but should be expected to be fit come the India series. However, next, the coming winter rather is not as tense for them. They have a couple of series. I think one of them is against New Zealand. Then the other is another home series itself. So it's not really as hectic as it was the last year and even seasons before, because you remember that even without an Ashes taking place, or they either had an Ashes taking place or they'd be hosting India in Test series. So it was never really easy to accommodate, and more often than not, even if Australia weren't playing any series, Starc's rationale was that he'd like to take that time off to not only rejuvenate himself and keep his body fit, but also ensure that he gets to spend time with family, which has been of course an increasing priority for him in recent years. Ever since he got married, he's been wanting to actually do both, ensure that he stays fit, will also get time with family, and it's a decision that, truth be told, you can respect. However, the news of Starc being back in the IPL is very, very exciting, and of course we know that he's one of the best bowlers in world cricket, but unlike certain players, and for example his ODI and Test skipper Pat Cummins, he's not really struggled to replicate that form which he's shown in international cricket during the IPL. In fact, a quick glance at his IPL numbers, which of course comes with the added caveat that he only played in 2014 and 2015, are very, very good indeed. He's played a total of 27 matches during that time period, in which he took 34 wickets, 14 in his first year and 20 in his second year. And at that point in time, his economy during those 2 seasons for Royal Challengers Bangalore, which is the franchise he was playing for, was 7.17, and he was operating at an impressive strike rate of 17.06. Of course, you have to remember this is a much younger Starc who still hadn't had as many injury issues. But the one good thing with Starc is that his injuries haven't really actually really done that much of damage to at least his pace. Yes, there's a couple of things here that he's had to accommodate and modify when it comes to his action, but overall, the kind of bowling that he still has is top notch and would mean that when he's back in the auction pool, he would definitely be that one player who a lot of franchises will be coveting. You remember that RCB paid big bucks for him, and the last time he was in the auction pool, which was in 2018, Kolkata Knight Riders had also paid a fee that was nearly in the 10 crore figure to get him in the auction. Of course, he ended up picking up an injury, didn't play that season, and since then hasn't played any season of the IPL because, as I said, he's prioritized country over any particular club. But 2024, you're going to see Mitchell Starc back in the IPL, and I, for one, am very excited, and I hope that my franchise, incidentally the last franchise to actually get him in an auction, gets him back. But what are your thoughts? Are you excited to see Starc back in the IPL? Which team would you want to see him playing for? You can let us know that in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and tap that bell icon as well. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and don't forget to download the SportsTak app as well. Plus, if you're already on the channel, go right ahead and check out some other videos we've done. For now though, from my side,